Imagine a reality where you were fully tapped into your divinity. What would that look like for you? In a world where we are manipulated into surrendering our power and authenticity, there are those of us who actively heal and work our magic to help others step into their highest versions. My name is KaSandra. I am the witch, spiritualist, founder, creator, and poet of Magic of Eden. My mission and purpose is to fearlessly share my magic, art, and wisdom to help others reclaim their divinity through poetry and ritual magic. On my podcast, I'll provide tarot readings, reveal prophetic messages and visions, share my astrological insights, discuss and perform my poetry. I'll also feature other creatives to ensure an infinite space of love, healing, and world unity. Grand Rising, everybody. Welcome back to my podcast. If that's where you are listening, my name is KaSandra. I'm the witch, the spiritualist, the founder and creator of Magic of Eden. I'm also a published author, writer, and poet. And if you guys are on YouTube, welcome back. I appreciate you all for coming here with me today. And it is always good to be in good love and high vibes and a good spirit with you guys. I just want to give you guys a forewarning that everyone in the house is awake. So yeah, and there's a reason for that, by the way. I normally try to get these things done when my kids are asleep or preoccupied, but I wanted to just get it done anyway, because if I keep putting it off, it won't get done first thing. So you guys are going to be hearing bumping, as I'm sure you just heard now. Possibly some crying here and there and things like that. And of course, I will be going back to edit the video and the podcast to make sure I get out as much as much noise as possible. But you guys already know the deal. Like, I got 2 kids. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm an entrepreneur and a homeschooler, and I'm doing it all by myself. So I'm just gonna have to stop being so hard on myself and things like that. So anyway, the reason why I decided to come on here was because I needed to, and also because I was gonna try to get a reading done this morning while the kids were asleep, like around 8 or 7ish or whatever. But I remember waking up around like 8 o'clock in the morning, and for whatever reason, I was extremely tired. I was like, yo, why am I so tired? I really want to get this reading done, but just this tiredness came over me, and I was like, all right, screw it, whatever. I'm just gonna get back in the bed. So I got back in the bed, and from what I perceive as immediately, I had this dream, and that's what we're going to be doing a reading on here today, is the dream that I had. Now, I've already pre-shuffled the cards and everything, so for those of you guys that are on YouTube, you guys see that I'm using my gold foil tarot for this, and I've got 2 decks smashed together because I'm extra as fuck, and you guys already know that. And yeah, so I'm going to be using these 2 decks together to see what I can download or receive further about the dream that I had. And of course, I'm going to be telling you guys the dream. And because I am also doing this video on YouTube, I will have to say things. I want to kind of say in a filtered way, but when I turn off the video, of course, I will, give more insight, I guess, as to what I mean by that. Or I might just come out and just say it and say fuck it, like it is what it is, you know what I mean? Because that also is a vibe. So the dream that I had, you guys, was first and foremost, I ended up at one of my aunt's house, which she was like at work or something like that. And it's crazy because I've never had a dream about this woman before in my life. And now in the dream, it's interesting because she was, like I said, she was at work, right? Sorry, I had to stop recording because I had to go tend to my 4-year-old because he was throwing a tantrum for whatever reason. So anyways, I'm at her house and her husband was there. I'm not going to give their names, obviously, but my uncle-in-law was there. And I'm there with my kids. And he woke me up out of my sleep and was like, everybody wakes up early in this house. And I was so annoyed in the dream. Like, why the fuck are you waking me up? I was so annoyed. Like, what the fuck, right? And I was like, all right, whatever. So I'm starting to get up, right? And I'm irritated. So I start packing my shit. Because I'm irritated. Like, I want to go home. And so I know. I'm a mess, you guys. So, yeah, like in the dream, I'm packing my shit. And I'm like, yeah, like it's time to go. And next thing you know, I see this broadcast on the news. And on the news, basically, it was something about an outbreak that was going to happen. Or they were like, they weren't determining an outbreak. They were letting us know that an outbreak had happened. And on the news, like as I'm watching it, like on TV, I remember hearing it. And then when I looked at the TV, I saw this, they were highlighting McDonald's. Like they had like the McDonald's logo, and then it said breaking news, and it was like spinning around. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And so they were talking about like this outbreak, and I can't remember for the life of me what they were saying in the dream, but I remember it was this really, it was a really intense warning. Like, you guys, it was so crazy. It was one of those warnings like they were giving us, like they were going to get ready to do another shutdown. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, okay, now I really got to get home, because if not, I'm going to be stuck here in this house, and I don't want to be stuck here. So I'm packing my shit. And as I'm preparing, my 1-year-old throws up, and he was throwing up his insides, you guys. It was so bad. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, why is he throwing up? And then I'm sitting here listening. I'm like, wait a minute. This is a sign from one of the, for the outbreak, right? And I'm like, oh my God, like, there's just no way. So, you guys, my kid is in the background being really loud. I'm so sorry about that. And, yeah, so anyways, I'm just going to continue. So, yeah, he was throwing up, and I was like, yo, why is my son throwing up? And I got nervous. And so I remember overhearing my uncle-in-law having a conversation with my aunt, because she was at work, like I said, and she's like a professor, like at this university or whatever. At least that's what I think her occupation is. But as they were having the conversation, I just remember hearing her say, well, first of all, the government, and then next thing you know, it went silent. And it was like, it wasn't silent. It was more like inaudible. And then it went to silence. And I was like, what is she saying? Like, I'm sitting here trying to figure out, like, what is she talking about? Like, I need to know this. And so I'm like, oh my God, like, I really need to get home, because my kid is throwing up. And then in the dream, I had this really bad feeling like, yo, like, did he get whatever the fuck is out there? If so, how did he get it? Like, whatever. Because we were in the house. At least I'm assuming we were in the house. Like, I can't really say that we were, but I was assuming that we were in the house the whole time we were there at her house, because we were visiting. And after he threw up, he was perfectly fine. He was perfectly fine. And I know you guys are going to ask, well, what did the throw up look like? Well, if you're like me, you'd ask. So in the dream, I just remember seeing, like, it looked kind of like dark condensed milk. Like, that's what it looked like. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, did this kid drink condensed milk and then throw it up? I don't know, you guys, but it was like this, I want to say like this pale, like dark brown condensed milk looking throw up. And after he threw up, he was perfectly fine. He just went back to his normal ways or whatever. He was like running around. And I was behooved, because I'm like, why am I having this dream? It's like I laid back down at 8:24. I got up like around 9. So that's 36 minutes that this dream, I guess, happened. Like, I guess, from Earth time. That's how long it took me to have this dream. Now, for those of you guys that are on the podcast, you guys are going to hear me shuffling the cards. But if you are looking on YouTube here, you guys are going to see me shuffle the cards, because I wanted to do this shit live. I didn't want any surprises. Well, I wanted to be surprised with you guys. I didn't want to pre-pull anything. I didn't want this to be pre-recorded, or I didn't want this to be pre-outlined or nothing. I wanted to do this shit raw. So that's what we're doing. So, Spirit, I would like to ask you to please give me the clarity that I need, so that I can figure out what it is you're trying to tell me. Is this a personal dream, or is this dream for the collective? What does this dream mean? Please use me as a vessel to receive any messages that I need to hear for myself and or for the collective. What messages do you have to further give me for this dream and for the collective? Thank you so much for showing up in my life and for protecting whoever is listening to this and or watching this video. May they also use discernment when receiving this message. May they reject anything that is not fit. May they receive anything that needs to be received. Ashe. All right, you guys. Moment of truth. Here we go. Okay, first and foremost, we have the Knight of Swords. This is a message, you guys. And as I say that, immediately my spirit feels very disturbed. I feel very disturbed. I'm not trying to cause a panic or an uprising of whatever. I'm not trying to do anything like that. And let's just be real. I don't even have, as of right now, I don't have the numbers to show on my Instagram account at all to even be causing an uprising. But at the same time, I'm not putting anything past anything at this point because we know how information spreads. So the first card to come out is the Knight of Swords, as you guys can see, right? That's the first card to come out. Spirit, I'm open. My spirit is calm. Oh my God, the Hierophant came out. This is definitely for the world, you guys. It is. It has to do with organizations. It's a strong message coming in from organizations. Any type of knight brings a message in tarot, for those of you guys that are unfamiliar. And then also the Hierophant, ruled by Taurus, also rules, tradition, structure, and religious beliefs, spiritual systems, spiritual groups, cults, and all those things. So I just heard the Vatican. I don't know why I'm hearing the Vatican again, but maybe it's because the Hierophant was pulled. But this sounds like a lot to do with structure, institutions. Again, this was McDonald's that came through the dream. And then we got the Ten of Swords. Something is there's a message being brought that something is happening to cause some kind of ending. Although this is not the Death card, the Ten of Swords is out, so this lets me know that either way it goes, it is inevitable. Oh my fucking God, you guys. I just said the Death card, and look, the Death card just showed up. I fucking can't right now. Okay, that's kind of scary. I'm so fucking happy that I'm doing this shit live. It was meant to be. And I'm just going to go with that. But anyway, so yeah, the Death card legit just fucking came out. This is something that is inevitable. I really do think that they're going to try some shit again. And by they, I mean the powers that be. And I feel like, I don't know why, but I'm being brought to smoke and mirrors. Like, there's going to be lots of things that they're going to try to do that are going to try to keep us in a lowered state. And I think it has something to do with the awakening of collective consciousness. And for whatever reason, I'm hearing sense of togetherness. So it's almost kind of like this is like an urgent message to unite, because there's gonna be some shit that they're gonna try again, of course, that they're gonna use. I don't know why, but I'm hearing the word division, so it's gonna be used to try to divide us again. But not only that, for whatever reason, I'm also feeling like I just heard this is a hoax. But it's not like a hoax, but they're going to try to use it to... They're trying to weaponize... I just heard they're trying to weaponize our minds. Or they're trying to use this as a weapon to further destroy us as humanity, the planet, whatever. And I just heard this is a facade. Don't believe everything you see that's happening on TV. Remember that these are programs that are running to get into our subconscious, to program that in a way that they can predict our behavior and our outcome. That's the message that's coming through right now. And for whatever reason, I just heard that I can't make this shit up. Like, I literally just heard overthrow the government. There's ways to do that peacefully. And then there's ways to do that violently. There's ways to do it by force. And then there's ways to do it by, getting your own affairs together and creating your own governments, creating your own religious assemblies, creating your own way of living without having to depend on government for anything at all. And this goes back to understanding and knowing your roots, and also attaching yourselves to, a tribe that you more than likely come from here in America. No matter what other roots you have, those are also important. But those who know what I'm talking about know. And I'll do that in another podcast. I'm not going to talk about that here right now. The main thing that I want to get out is the message of the dream. So with the star card also coming out. So, oh my god, the Wheel of Fortune and Temperance. And the fuck, oh my god, you guys. Okay. We have the Wheel of Fortune here, as you guys can see on YouTube. We have the Temperance card here on YouTube. And just with that Temperance card, I just heard peace be still. So that's a very important message. Also, the Knights of Swords came back again in reverse. Now, for those of you guys, again, as I explained, I have 2 decks smushed together. And the reason why I do that is because I like to get additional messages for, additional cards that like to come out. So, for example, I have two Knight of Swords here. There's an emphasis on that, meaning that there is an emphasis on a message, right? All right, you guys, my kid is fine, by the way. I just wanted you guys to know that. He's just being loud and extra like his mommy. Anyways, so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and continue with that message. So I really do think that for whatever reason, looking at the cards, this definitely is a message that is about massive change. I do feel that the dream means, if anything, to just be mindful of what you're consuming. Be mindful of what you are consuming on a physical level, the food and things like that. I just heard the word homesteading. You guys, this is a message. We have to start really cracking down on, trying our best to, get those gardens together. Even if you have to take, a plastic bottle off the street, come home, cut it up, wash it out really good, sanitize it, whatever you're going to do, and just take some, save up some money if you can, and, get some dirt and, plant those seeds. Start off with a water bottle that you got off the street, cutting it up. Even if it's just something like that, you don't have to make it all extra extravagant unless you want to. If you have the means for it, go ahead and do that. I'm not knocking anybody. I'm not saying, you have to do it that way. I'm just letting you guys know that I really think it's important. By the fact that I'm getting these downloads and these messages, this is an urgent message. And this is a message to humanity. I think it's time to really start to be more self-sufficient and independent, and not depending so much on on the government for help and things like that. Now, I understand life. For those of you guys that don't know, I say this sometimes, and I'm gonna proudly say this. Now, I'm from Watts, California, and Watts is a rough ass fucking part of Los Angeles. Whoever is listening to this that understands what I'm talking about, y'all know the deal. We utilize the best of our resources no matter what, and I understand that. And there's nothing 1000% wrong with that at all. You have to do what you have to do. But what I am saying is that if you're going to do that, you better work that shit. And I'm not telling anybody to go ahead and be sneaky. I'm not saying to do anything wrong. You guys don't want any of that bad juju coming back on you. I get it. But there is this, I just heard resourcefulness, and there's this idea of planning and using your resources to start to invest more in yourself and to start to invest more in self-sufficiency, because there's this a collapse that's coming. There is a collapse that Spirit is saying is coming. And as I'm saying this, I'm getting a download. There is a collapse that is coming. And I really do feel like this is an inevitable ending, is what Spirit is saying. Dependence, be more dependent on community and coming together as a community to create your own structures that work best for you and said community. This is not... Everything is fine, you guys. That bump is... Everything is okay. And this is not even just, and I'm going to talk about the elephant in the room here. This is not just about, white people coming together with white people, or, black people coming together with black people, or Hispanic people coming together with Hispanic people. That's not what the fuck this is about. This is about humanity coming together, because everything that we've ever been shown has been a result to try and divide us. Everything is... It's, for example, the dividing of classes, the dividing of, races or whatever. Like, all this shit is just really an illusion to keep us separated, because the more separated we are from each other, the more separated we are from ourselves, the more separated we are from the divine. And when you understand the shit on a metaphysical level, when you understand it as far as like you being a part of the all, you understand that each of these singularities makes up the all. It's the multiplicity of singularities that make up the all. So even throughout our unique differences, Spirit is saying it is time for us to really start cracking down on coming together and uniting these fucking communities and really starting to really get our shit together. Like, that's what this urgent message is, because there's gonna be some type of fuckery happening I can feel it. Like, and as I say that, like, my fingers are kind of tensing up a little bit. And I think spirit this is where I have to say peace be still, because remember with that temperance card, peace be still. And that's what that message, that's the message that was brought to me by looking at the temperance card, peace be still, because we are dead smack in the middle of change. The trajectory of our lives are changing. And I feel like it has a little bit to do, I personally feel like it has a little bit to do with that, with I think it's on March 23rd where Pluto enters into the sign of Aquarius, I think. And then from there we have a stellium in what looks like the 12th house. Man, this fucking 12th house energy is so strong, you guys. I really do feel like there's going to be a lot of things being brought to the surface, being exposed. A lot of things that were in our subconscious are being exposed. But I also don't see this as a bad thing, though. I see this as an amazing opportunity for change, for massive change, for global change. For whatever reason, with this, with the Wheel of Fortune, I think I just heard power be to the people. I really do feel that the more we study ourselves, the more we study each other, the more that we study astrology, esoteric symbolism, and, we use reason and rationality, the more that we study philosophy and mathematics and science or whatever, I feel like the deeper we go, the more shit we find out, the more shit gets brought to the surface, the more we can use the information that's being brought to us to make our lives better. There are going to be certain messages about the planet that are going to come out, that are going to shock the world, that are going to scare us, but at the same time, that's a prime time for us to get our shit together. And for whatever reason, I get this feeling that we've been here before. We've done this before so many times. Like, this shit it just keeps repeating itself. It's not history, it's universal history repeating itself. Excuse me, for whatever reason. Why is my throat getting... Excuse me, you guys. But anyways, this is like universal history repeating itself. And then we also have the Two of Wands here. I feel like at the same time, I feel like what we can start doing now is like really stop. And for whatever reason, this is bringing me to pay attention to what is happening in the world, to be more observant. Although the Hermit is not here, there's something about the Hermit's energy. Not where we're going into this really dark cave, to observe. Not that we're observing from a space of coldness, but we're going out and exploring what is happening in the world. We are looking to see what is going on in the world, but what are the changes that you want to see happening in your own reality? And what are some changes that you want to see happening, for the collective? What can you do to be of aid or to benefit or to help as it pertains to, this energy? And it's interesting because we have the Eight of Cups here coming out, and I really do feel like I just heard Spirit say we're changing paths. Like, a path is being changed. Like, we were going down this one path, but we're being called to something else. This is going to resonate with only a few people, and I'm here for that, and that's fine. But for some of us, it's like we're changing up the way that we do things. I know that the traditional meaning of the Eight of Cups is, you don't want to settle, you want to make sure that it's a search for deeper meaning and things like that. But I also want to say, too, that this is, for some of us, it's something is changing. Like, the way that we were doing things is no longer the way that we're going to do them. Some of us are changing, and as a result of that, we're tapping more into purpose. And it's interesting because we do have the Star card here. I really do see a lot of people waking up to who it is that they truly are, because they're tired of seeing the shit that's happening on TV. They're tired of seeing the shit that's being brought to media. And it's so fucking interesting because I can't say this right now, but there was certain information about a certain sting, if you catch my drift, that is now being brought to the surface, and that is now being the truth about that sting is now being exposed. And so everyone that was ridiculed for not wanting to do a certain act is now being looked at as, oh shit, okay, I get you. If that makes sense. If you catch my drift, you catch my drift. That's all I'm gonna say. And so it's shit like that I feel like is constantly is happening. I just heard. Damn, do I even really want to bring this to YouTube? It is what it is. Whatever. It's not about me or my comfort. It's about the collective. I just heard, fuck, I heard it and I lost it. Be prepared for invasions. This brings me back to another dream that I had a while ago. I don't know if I made a podcast on it. I'll check back with it and see. But I'm gonna go ahead and take a pause here on the podcast because there is a message that I need to tell you guys about Anchor. Alright, you guys, we're just going to go ahead and continue. And before I do that, I just wanted to do a shameless self-plug because why not? My Apothecary is now reopened after 2 years of me not being able to sell anything. For those of you guys that don't know, who are watching this video for the first time, meeting me, or who's listening to my podcast for the first time, I could not sell anything out of my Apothecary because, well, I chose not to because my husband ended up passing away while I was 3 months postpartum. So I was pregnant, and then my husband passed away, and then I needed to go through a whole bunch of healing, and I could not show up as much as I wanted to because I was, dealing with like life shit, apparently. So here are my incense. I'm so happy. I'm super happy. Now I know you guys are like, why the fuck is the packaging so big? Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. By the way, you guys can recycle this. I really just wanted to be able to put my little logo on there. Well, not my logo, but my tags. Whatever the fuck you call those things. My tags. Let's just call them a fucking tag, I guess, because I can't think of the word. But yeah, like, look how beautiful that is. I'm super happy. So these are my incense, as you guys can see. I love it. They are super amazing. I love it. And I've also got bath soaks, candles. I've got herbs. I've got ritual oils, Florida waters. By the way, I'm also going to be creating my own Florida waters to sell in the Apothecary, and not just the OG ones, but I'm going to make my own OG Florida waters because that's what we do over here. We create shit to help the collective. All right, so let's go ahead and continue on with that. Yes, so to continue on with the message that, about the dream, I want to say that in all seriousness, I do feel that I just heard that dream was a wake-up call. And it's really just a wake-up call to understand the power of your body, the power that your immune system has, if we feed it the things that we're going to feed it. If we feed it with the things that are needed, let's just say that, right? No matter what your diet looks like. I'm not here to talk about, what you should be eating. I'm just going to say, eat what you know is going to keep you healthy, right? And that's going to support your immune system. That looks different for everybody. Everybody's body's different, and that's okay. All right? I'm not here to I'm not here for that. I'm just letting you know. But also, the things that we are seeing that they are trying to make us, they're trying to use to weaken us, can sometimes not be as serious for some people. I'm not going to say that because it doesn't apply to everyone, but it does apply to, other people, and that's okay. But just understand that you have the power. I just heard the word cleansing, so it's bringing me to cleansing. And I'm hearing burdock root. I just heard sarsaparilla root and all those different. So basically what you want to do is you want to start, with roots. And yes, I'll go into all that stuff later in another podcast, like the symbolism of burdock root and sarsaparilla and all that good shit. But I'll also go into the other health benefits of that in another podcast because I am studying more herbalism and things like that, as I'm also transitioning from a shitty diet going to a better diet to help not only myself but to help you guys more, which I've been doing really fucking amazing with. I'm so happy. And I think as a result of my changes, I think that's the reason why I was able to receive that download in a more clear way. Although my intuition has always been strong, it has been heightened since I have been cleaning up my diet a lot more. And I just really think that. So I feel like I can speak to that only because I'm noticing the changes. So, and I just heard the words mental clarity. So you want to make sure that you're eating things and consuming things, whether on TV or food or listening to certain music or whatever, that are going to support clarity for yourself, right? And as I'm looking at the cards, a couple of more cards did come out. We have the King of the King of Cups here, and we also have the Nine of Cups for those that are looking here on YouTube. And for whatever reason, the King of Cups came out because I feel like Spirit is saying that we need to control our emotions. And for whatever reason, this King of Wands, I'm sorry, why do I keep saying the King of Wands? There's a message about the King of Wands coming through where we're called to, in a sense, kind of channel our inner fire, but direct it in a way that is healthy, and direct that in a way that is beneficial to not only us but the people that we are ruling. This could be our household or whatever, but this is also a time where we can think about, you know, tapping into the fun aspects of ourselves, the divine masculine aspects of ourselves, that is eccentric, that is fun, that is outgoing, that is loving, that is mysterious, that is sexy, and all those different things to create more fun, I guess, in our lives and more direction in our lives. But that is very strong phallic energy, meaning that we are also, in a sense, even though we're vibrant, we are also controlling our desires. We are controlling the fire in a way, and we're implementing that in a way that is needed. And for whatever reason, I'm now getting a vision of the Emperor card, where we have to start becoming a bit more disciplined as it pertains to our everyday lives. But not even just that, I want to go back to the King of Cups here. Finally, I can say it now, the King of Cups. The King of Cups here, to me, is a message that throughout what's going on in the world right now, we have to be able to direct ourselves and to rationally move through our emotions and our feelings. And this, to me, means that we can't allow ourselves to constantly be swayed emotionally by the shit that's being shown to us, because the more we have emotional reactions, the harder it is to get to the things that we truly do want. And that's a message that I feel that Spirit is coming to tell us. You know what I mean? Now, as this relates to the dream that I had, I do feel like I just keep hearing the word filter out. Like, there's some things that you're going to have to filter out. Now, from a literal standpoint, I 1000% do feel that there's something going on with McDonald's that we need to understand and look out for, as if, you know, people don't already know that. But for those, everything is fine, you guys. I know you guys heard that bump. But, and as I say that, it's 11:11. It is 11:11 on the dot. You guys see that on my phone, 11:11? Right, okay. I just wanted to show the timestamp because I just had to do that. But anyways, so yes, there's something about McDonald's I do think that it's going to be exposed even further. And I feel like this outbreak, I think, is in the food. Like, it's something about the food that they're going to use to cause another outbreak or stage as an outbreak. And I also just heard the words food shortage. I keep hearing food shortage and homesteading. You guys just look into that. Homesteading, look at, raised beds. You can, possibly maybe create your own raised beds if you can. Or if you can't, like I said, just start small. Get with people, network. I just heard the word network. That's the power also of the King of Wands, because it's like he is not afraid to go out there and show up and make connections with people. Excuse me. And I really do feel called to say that is something that we can also do, because, and it's not that you're using people, but what I'm hearing is that it's imperative that you get your shit right and get your shit together emotionally and mentally and spiritually, so that you can then meet up with your soul tribe, and then you can also create a community with your soul tribe, and then their soul tribe connects with you, and then yours connects with theirs, and like until we have this huge fucking interconnectedness of people coming together saying, fuck this, we got this, we're gonna do this for ourselves. And that's the fire that I'm bringing to you. Now with this King of Cups, again, this to me is that energy of you being able to have sound understanding, and you not allowing your emotions to be swayed by any means necessary. This is strong discernment. This is fixed energy, but this is energy that is healthy, that is whole, that is wise. And whenever I see the King of Cups in tarot, it always reminds me of that energy of like a person who's very mature, or this person who like peels an apple with a pocket knife or a dagger, and then they eat it with that knife, if that makes sense. And this is how you know when you about to really get some real good fucking energy, like you about to get that real wisdom, like that real life experience shit, in a way that is loving, in a way that is, I need you to understand this. That's the type of energy that I feel that is coming through with the King of Cups. This is connecting, for whatever reason, I'm hearing to connect with your elders that were before you, to see what their experiences were like. and see how you can use that information to apply it in your current time right now. If you're listening to this in the future, this is basically you connecting with your ancestors or connecting with your elders to see what can you do to implement some of the things that they did, but also bring change and also implement certain traditional values into your daily life right now to help enhance your life and for the future to come and for the future generations. And I do feel, for whatever reason, with this Hierophant card here, this is bringing me to tradition, and it's also bringing me to generations, to future generations. For whatever reason, the things that we set in stone right now are gonna affect the people, our kids, our grandkids, our great grandchildren, if you decide to have them, in the upcoming years. And for whatever reason, there's this highlight on 2023, but there's also this highlight on 2030. Now, I'm not going to talk about that exactly right now. I'm going to channel some more messages first before I bring any information about that. But anyway, yeah. I heard spirits say that one of the symptoms of this, this unforeseen outbreak is vomiting. And that's because your body is obviously rejecting, whatever is there. I keep hearing the word regurgitation. So this is bringing me to energy that needs to be regurgitated. It's like, it's long awaited. This is like a throwing up of everything, but it's not just you throwing up your insides physically. This is also you blowing. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I just blew my incense. But anyways, this is you literally rejecting lots of things spiritually. I do see lots of spiritual awakenings happening at that time. Also, a correction. Pluto does not enter into Aquarius until April. I can't remember the exact date, but it's not in March, it's April. But we are going to have a 12th house stellium still come April, March 23rd, which I'm going to go more into detail about later. So yeah. Anyway, I really do feel that the dream in a nutshell just simply means that it's definitely a time where we have to start paying more attention and putting things together and, kind of filtering out what is real and what isn't, what is illusion and what is delusion and things like that. We have to be, and there's this, for whatever reason, I feel like we have to do our best to understand the planet Neptune without being too... because even with us trying to understand Neptune, sometimes it could be we can get easily lost in illusion even trying to understand Neptune. So we have to be very careful. I'm hearing the words lies and deceit. I feel like a lot of that shit is going to start coming out. There's obviously information that is being concealed by the powers that be that are not getting out, but slowly but surely they will come to surface. They will 1000% come to the surface as they are now. But I really do feel that this is definitely a time for positive change. I don't see this as solely negative. I don't see this as a bad thing. I see this as an amazing thing, an opportunity for us to come together as a collective to embrace our authenticity, to share our authenticity with each other, but also create this sense of togetherness. But I also kind of feel like this is a warning, a message, an urgent message from Spirit saying that there is another plan that's underway where they're going to try to use it's going to be another outbreak or they're going to try to cause another outbreak. So, and there's also patterns for outbreaks and shit like that, but I don't want to get too deep into that because of course YouTube, whatever. Take everything that I'm saying as a with a grain of salt. Take it as a metaphor. Don't take everything literal. I have to kind of say that, but I mean, unless you want to take it literal, that's fine. I know how I'm going to take it. I'm going to take this. I've been through some shit in my life, and my intuition definitely has shown up a lot. So I'm going to follow my own vibes. I'm going to follow my own intuition on this. I don't put anything past nothing at this point. There's no fucking telling what's going to happen at this point. So I'm not even going to sit up here and deny it. There is a major possibility, but I do feel that this is definitely a time where the trajectory of our lives are changing. We are called to go down a different path that's going to help us further progress as humanity. I really do feel, I just heard that this is a breaking point for some of you. This is a breaking point for humanity as a whole. I do see a lot more people diving deeper into spirituality and starting to understand the truth of religions. And I don't know why, but there's this emphasis on people who are Christian no longer want to be Christian anymore. I don't know if there's a message in that for a specific person, or group of people, but this would be your green light to do so. You're waking up to some other things, and you're starting to understand things from a more esoteric way, in a more mystical way, but also in a more rational way. And so I just heard the word deviating. It's like you're deviating away from what you once knew. Also, that's a message for all of us. We have to be comfortable with throwing out everything that we once knew in order to obtain more information, or use the information that we've learned, and apply that to new information while keeping an open mind. Spirit, is there any other message that you have for the collective right now that you want me to give the collective? To anyone, okay. To anyone listening to this, we have the Fool card just came out, you guys. As you can see, the Fool card came out. We have the Knight of Wands in reverse here. We have lots of wands, lots of fire energy. The Nine of Wands, and we also have the Ten of Wands in reverse. I don't know why, but this just brought me to a natural disaster by fire. I don't know why that came about, but it's like this natural disaster by fire. Or there's something about something about the heating up of something. I just got like a glimpse of a volcano eruption. There's something about fire, and there's something about like something happening as a result of fire. I just heard ayahuasca. Like there's this heat it's like this heat that's causing change. This could be a psychedelic trip using, and this is not me promoting the use of illegal substances, by the way. I'm just calling it what it is, whatever. And as I say that, it's 11:23, 123. There's something about this eruption. There's something about fire. There's something about an awakening happening as a result of fire. That's what's coming through with these cards. I'm not really sure why, but also I do feel like a lot of things are being released. A lot of things, it's like we have to kind of slow down and really watch ourselves and pace ourselves as we're virtuing out. Be careful when you're using lighters and things like that, you guys, because things can just start, fires start with the spark of a fucking light. Just be very careful. Be very careful as to what areas. I just heard look for smoke. There's smoke from somewhere. You guys, I'm sorry, my kid is like going ham right now. Alright, you guys, I gotta get these kids situated. So that's all the time that we have. So yeah, I really do appreciate the fact that you guys spent some time with me here today. I appreciate the fact that you listened to me ramble about this shit. So if you guys need anything from me, you guys can visit me online at Magic of Eden. You guys can also follow me on Instagram at Magic of Eden. Oh wait, I'm sorry, online magicofeden.com, and I will make sure that I have everything linked down in the description box. I love you guys, take care, and I will see you in my next one.